everyone to our gentle range of motion class with postural emphasis, postural and phasic muscle emphasis. So those are just the muscles, big and small, that we use to help us with our posture. So we're going to go ahead and start, and sorry I have a paper today because I wanted to be very organized and strategic about my plan. So we're going to start by sitting up nice and tall. You're going to relax your shoulders away from your ears. And we're just going to take a few breaths here. So nice big inhales in through your nose and out through your nose. Good. Take this time to calm your nervous system. Check in with the body, see how we're feeling. Did we sleep on anything wrong? If so, make sure to, always be cautious if the body's not feeling 100%. Remember to modify anything that you need to, but I'm confident that you should all be able to do what I'll ask you to do today. But if your body can't do it today, that's fine. Just let me know. Couple more breaths here. So we're going to go ahead and start by opening up the chest and the front of your shoulders. So in order to do that, I want you to take your arms down by your sides, and we're going to do large backwards arm circles. So one arm at a time, large backwards arm circles. Good. Very nice. And as you're doing this, try to see if you can keep your torso exactly where it's at. So don't rotate the whole body back, just the arms and the shoulders. Perfect. Take your time as we go through this. We're going to be doing each exercise or stretch today for about a minute. Some of them might be a minute and a half. I want us to really be able to get into these, see what it feels like in the beginning and then towards the middle and the end, so you can feel your body opening up. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring those arms down. Good. From here, again, focusing on our chest and the front of our shoulders. You're going to inhale the arms up to shoulder height with your palms facing one another. And then your palms are going to turn down as your arms come out to a T. Good. And then we're going to return. So palms come towards one another and then lower the arms down. Good. And then we're just going to repeat that. So lift the arms up, palms face inward. Good. Palms turn down as the arms come to a T. Good. Palms come inwards, arms toward one another, lower it down. Good. Keep it going. Inhaling up, exhaling to that T. Inhaling forward, lowering it down. Good. Try to keep those shoulders relaxed and away from your ears. Nice, everyone. A little bit longer here. Hopefully you feel the shoulders getting a little warmer. You feel your back engaging. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go ahead. And you can always finish up if you like. I know I like to. And then return to center. Very good. All right, again, still focusing on the chest and the shoulders. You have a couple options here. I'm going to stand up so you can see what I'm doing, but you can do this from the side of your seat if you'd like to, or you can stand. Your choice. Option 1, bring your hand and grab your opposite forearm. All right, or option number 2, you can clasp your hands together, roll your shoulders back, and extend the arms down. So whichever one you would like to do. So again, here are your 2 options. Option 1, grab the forearms. Option 2, hands hold on to one another, roll those shoulders back. And again, you could do this standing or you can do this seated. So you do what works best for you. We're going to hold it here. Nice deep breaths. A little bit longer here. Keep breathing. Maybe you can find a little more wiggle room. Get deeper into that stretch. Let's hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's release those shoulders and hands. Bring them back in front of you. Good. All right, so this next move is going to be a shoulder opener here. So I want you to go ahead and take your left arm down by your side. That left arm is going to hang heavy. Good. Now I want you to bring your right fingertips to your left collarbone. Where's your collarbone at? Does everybody know it's this guy up here? Good. So your fingertips are on that collarbone. Now I want you to retract your shoulder. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what I mean. So right now my shoulder's neutral and I'm going to retract it. So I'm squeezing my shoulder blade towards my spine. Did you see how my shoulder went back? You're going to hold your shoulder in that position. Now I want you to bring those left fingertips to that left shoulder. Keep it retracted and you're going to circle the elbow back. It's just little circles. All while keeping the shoulder retracted. That's the most important part. So keep squeezing that shoulder blade toward your spine. Like I said, little circles, and those circles are back. Don't take them forward. Good. Nice job. Few more seconds here. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I want you to relax the elbow, keep it retracted, and then you're going to slowly release the hand down by your side, and then release that shoulder. So one step at a time. Never rush the shoulder out of the position. All right, let's move to the other side. Do the same thing. So now that right arm's going to hang down by your side. You're going to take your left fingertips to your right collarbone. Good, just holding on to there gently. And now, like I said before, you want to retract your shoulder. So squeezing that right shoulder blade toward the spine. Good, now take those fingertips to that shoulder. Good, keep it retracted. And we're going to circle back. Like I said, small circles. Your elbow shouldn't go higher than your shoulder. So I'm not bringing my elbow all the way up here, right? I'm keeping it low so it only ever comes in line with my shoulder. You're also strengthening those rhomboids right now by holding this position. So your rhomboids is another muscle that helps keep those shoulders back. Good. Keep it going. Take your time. Doesn't have to be fast. Shouldn't be fast. Are you still retracting that shoulder? Still squeezing it in? Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, one. Relax the elbow first. Keep the shoulder retracted. And then you slowly release the arm. And then release your shoulder. Good. Hopefully you feel a little bit more open in your back up here in the shoulders. I always like that move. It makes me feel better. Let's go ahead, give your arms a break, and we're going to do some chin retractions, everybody's favorite. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what happens when we do a chin retraction. But we're going to take your fingers, could be 2 fingers, could be just your index finger, and you're going to bring it to your chin. From here, you're going to retract your head away from the fingers. And then we're going to release it. So this is strengthening the muscles in the back of our neck, so that way we can get the ear and shoulder in line with one another. You're going to do this at your own pace. It doesn't have to be fast. Remember, your arm and your fingers are anchored. They don't move. Just the head and your neck. Good. Keep it going. I'm going to turn forward so I can feel like I'm seeing you. Good. And remember, we don't lift the chin up, right? You're just pulling it back. So imagine there's a line right under your chin and you're sliding away from that line. Nice job, everyone. Keep it going a little bit longer. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go ahead and release that hand down. Let's go ahead and think about our upper back and our rear deltoids. So that's just fancy for your shoulder. So we're going to start with some external shoulder rotations. So all you're going to do is you're going to turn your palms up toward the sky. And you're going to bring your elbows by your sides. Good. Those elbows are going to stay glued to your sides. Do not let them leave. From here, we're going to go ahead and you take the hands out by your sides. And when you do that, you should feel your shoulder blades coming toward one another. Little squeeze, and then bring them back to that neutral position. And you can see from the side what my shoulders do when I do this. Right now they're in a neutral position, but when I do my external rotation, you can see how my shoulders draw back slightly. It's just a tiny move, nothing big. External shoulder rotation, opening up the chest, strengthening those rear deltoids. Good. You're going to keep this going. The smaller the movement, I say the better, so that way you actually feel it. Just like when you're weight training, it's not good to start picking up 20 pounds right away. You want to start off with 5 pounds so that way you can see what's supposed to happen in the body. That way you can feel what's going on. So right now you should be feeling your upper back and the back of your shoulders. Doing great, everyone. A little bit longer. Like I said, we're doing everything for about 1 minute to about 1.5 minutes. Also depends on how much I talk. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's go ahead and bring those arms back down by your sides. Good. From here, all we're going to do is some shoulder blade squeezes. So I wish I could show you like a person that didn't have their shirt on so you could see. But what we're going to do is you're just going to have your arms neutral and you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together. So I'll show you from the side. So So you're gonna either sit up or stand up tall, arms down by your sides, and you're gonna squeeze your shoulder blades together and then release. Makes sense? Good. You're gonna sit up nice and tall and you squeeze, hold it for about 2 seconds and then release. Now notice when you squeeze, if this happens, we don't want to use your traps, right? So keep your trapezius relaxed. You're just squeezing those shoulder blades together. So we're using your upper back for this. So squeeze and release. Squeeze, hold it for about 2 seconds, then release. Good, keep it going. I always start to feel this almost right away in that upper back. You might feel it in your shoulders too, your deltoids, but this should mostly be your upper back. So again, try to keep those shoulders away from your ears. Good. Nice work, everyone. Remember to breathe. I exhale as I squeeze. Inhale as I'm relaxed. Good. Keep it going. Doing those shoulder blade squeezes. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax those arms. Very nice. All right. A couple more things for the upper back. We're going to now go into the Y. So think of doing the YMCA if you've ever done that before. So you're going to have your arms down by your sides, and then we're going to slowly keep the shoulders away from the ears. Lift the arms up to a Y position. Good, so you feel their shoulder blades come toward one another, and then you slowly lower it back down. Good, and we're just going to repeat that. So come up into that Y position. Again, shoulders relax. Good, and then lower it back. You should feel those shoulder blades coming toward one another as you lift the arms up. Doing great, everyone. Keep it going. Make sure you're still standing up or sitting up tall. Make sure your core is slightly engaged. It's not super flexed, but there's a little bit of a squeeze in the abs. Good. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring those arms down. Last upper back exercise / kind of stretch for today. So for this one, if you're seated, you're going to scoot to the front edge of your chair. And if you're standing, your feet are going to be hip width apart. You're going to put a little bend in your knees, and you're going to hinge forward slightly. Good. And if you're seated, go ahead and you're going to also hinge forward slightly. So notice my head, neck, and spine are in one straight line together. My head's not dropped down. It's in line with my spine. We're going to put a little bend in our elbows. Good, and we're going to do some reverse flies. So you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades toward one another, lift the arms up. They're only in line with your shoulders, not any higher. Then lower them down. It's almost like you're trying to hug your legs, but we don't quite hug them. Good. So this movement happens because you're squeezing your shoulder blades toward one another, right? It's not so much your arms are lifting, but it's more of being conscious of squeezing those shoulder blades together and then lowering the arms down. So think about that movement starting in the middle upper part of your back. Your core is braced. Keep a nice core tight for me. Nice work, everyone. Let's go for 10 more seconds here. And 3, 2, 1. Lower those arms down, and you're gonna sit up nice and tall for me. All right, flip my paper over. Now we're gonna focus on our lower back. So we did all this work for our upper back, so let's just do something for the lower back. So for the lower back stretch and exercise, I want you to grab that band. And if you're standing, I want you to take a seat for me. Hopefully the bottom of my feet aren't dirty, because you're gonna see the bottom of them, kinda. All right, from here, let's take that band on the bottom of both feet. Good, and my feet are just hip width apart. They're maybe even a little bit closer than that, so sit comfortably. Your legs aren't wide. So this is gonna be a low back extension. So what I want you to do is both hands are gonna hold on to the ends, and you're gonna bring that band up toward your chest. So there should be some tension here. I don't want it to be the hardest tension ever, but there should be some tension. Your heels are on the floor, your toes are up. And you're gonna brace your core. And then from here, all we're gonna do is we're gonna let the band, but we're gonna be strategic about it. We're gonna slowly allow the chest to come forward, so hinging at your hips. And then once your chest is just about over those thighs, you might feel a stretch in your hamstrings. You're gonna slowly roll yourself all the way back up, but keeping the spine straight. Good, and I'll do this from the side too, so you can see what's going on. I'm a visual person, so keeping everything, keeping my back flat, hinging forward, so my eyes kind of look forward too, not straight down toward the floor. And then I use that lower back, squeezing that, a little bit of my glutes to bring me back upright. And then we repeat. So you're in charge of how much tension you want to put on the band. Like I said, I wouldn't make it as hard as possible. Just something that's doable but challenging. Remember to brace your core. Good. We're going to do these a few more times, so that way you can hopefully really start to feel that lower back. Not a painful feel, but just like a, oh, there's some muscles down there that are waking up. Go for 10 more seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and release that band. You can set it off to the side. We're done with the band. We won't need that. Let's think about increasing flexibility in the spine by starting with your cat and cow. So you're sitting up tall on the front edge of your seat. Hands are on top of your thighs. You're going to go ahead and inhale as you arch your spine, drawing your shoulder blades together. Chest is lifted. Eyes look to where the wall and ceiling meet. Exhale, hands over the knees. Round your shoulders, round your spine, drop your head. And let's repeat. Nice job. I'm going to go at your pace here. job, everyone. Just a little bit longer here. 15 seconds. On your next exhale, let's go ahead and come back to that neutral spine position. And from here, we're going to go ahead and do our side bends. So I want you to go ahead and you're going to take your right arm, reach up and over to your left side for that side bend. Good. Inhale back to center. Exhale, switching sides. Good. Very nice. So again, this is good for our spine's flexibility, and we're also getting a stretch here in your QL. I've noticed lately for me to get a deeper stretch here, I kind of almost let my upper body go limp a little bit so that way I can fall further to the side. Because before I kind of just reach over, but I don't let myself fall a little extra. So if you notice, if you can let yourself reach and then fall, you might feel a deeper stretch. Make sure to try to keep that shoulder relaxed away from the ear. Nice work, everyone. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back to center. One more stretch for that spine flexibility. You're going to go ahead and inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Turn to your right as far as you can. Exhale as you bring the arms down. So a little spinal twist here. And you're going to look over your right shoulder as you hold this. All right, let's go ahead and turn your head back to center. Inhale, reach the arms up. Let's go ahead and turn your left as far as you can. Exhale, bring the arms down. Continue to twist to your left. Look over your left shoulder. All right, go ahead and turn your head back to center. Inhale, reach those arms up to the sky. Exhale, lower them down by your sides. Good. All right, I know you probably didn't anticipate having to do sit to stands in a gentle range of motion class, but we're going to do it for about 30 seconds because I want to strengthen your glutes, and then once they're a little bit warm from the sit to stands, we're going to do a stretch for them. So go ahead and start with your feet hip width apart. If some of you are barefoot, I like to spread my toes so that way I have nice, good grip on the floor. You can either have the chair for support, hands on your thighs, hands across your chest. But let's go ahead and do some sit to stands for about 30 seconds. Make sure you really think about squeezing your glutes as we go through these motions. So I know you hinge forward as we start to stand up, and then we squeeze those glutes in your quads as you stand. So I want you to really think about squeezing the glutes. Strong glutes are a part of posture. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back down. Uncross those arms. Going into your figure 4 stretch now. So you'll have 3 different options for this. You can take your right ankle, cross it over your left. Let that right knee fall out to the side. Option 1, stay right here. You can hinge forward if you'd like. You can put a little pressure on the inside of that thigh for a deeper stretch. Option 2, right ankle over the left knee. Again, you can put a little pressure on the thigh. You can hinge forward if you'd like for a deeper stretch. And then the last option, for those of you who might feel like your hips are really open today, there's this yoga move called rock the baby. So you take your arms and you take your right elbow holding on to that right knee. Left elbow put goes into the foot and you lift your baby up. Now this is if you want to, you don't have to. Don't force yourself into this position if you're not ready. If this is too much for the body, then keep it down here. I just wanted to give you a third option if you wanted it. But like I said, you decide which one works best for you. I gave you 3 choices. And if you are trying to rock the baby, I use my elbow pits as my anchors. So my foot's in my left elbow pit, and then my knee is in that right elbow pit. There might be a better name for it besides elbow pit, but that's what I'm calling it. Good. Gonna hold it for a few more seconds, no matter where you're at. 10 more to be exact. Hold it for 3, 2, 1, and let's relax the leg down, and you're gonna go ahead and uncross that side. All right, let's do the same thing on the other side. So again, option 1, cross that left ankle over the right. You can hinge forward, put a little pressure on that inner thigh to get the knee to drop out. You can bring your left ankle over your right knee. Good. And again, you can always hinge forward here. Put a little pressure on that inner thigh to get a deeper stretch. Or your last option, use those elbow pits. And you're gonna grab that left leg and bring it up toward your chest. You might notice one side's more flexible than the other. That happens. You might notice that you have cold toes like I am right now. Like, ooh. Keep holding it a little bit longer. Remember, if you need to go back and forth between 2 variations, I sometimes do that for certain stretches. If the full version becomes too much on the body, I go back down to a modified version as opposed to trying to force my body to deal with it. We don't want that. 10 more seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and release that leg, and we're gonna uncross the leg or the ankles. Now we're gonna go ahead and do our seated psoas stretch. So this will help release that lower back that we might have tightened up. So I want you to first hinge back in your chair so that your upper back and shoulders are against the seat. Good. I like to place my hands on top of my abdominals. And then you're gonna take your feet, or take your legs, extend them out in front of you. And then from here, I want you to lift your toes off the floor so your heels are touching. And now turn your toes and your knees out to the sides. So that just gives you a nice stretch in the psoas. If you're really flexible, you might not feel this you might not feel this very much, but you should still feel it a little bit if you have a good mind-body connection. We're just relaxing that psoas muscle, extending the legs, turning those toes and knees out to the sides. Take a few breaths here. We'll hold it for about 10 more seconds. Go for 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and turn those feet back in, and then you can step them toward your chair. And we're going to roll all the way back up. All right, from here, let's go ahead. We're going to strengthen that iliopsoas and your hip flexors. And in order to do that, we're going to stand up and use the back of our chair for support. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing, because that's always helpful. All right. So, I have both hands on my chair, facing forward. We're going to go ahead, and I want you to step your right leg back behind you. And then when you do step your right leg back, I want you to go ahead and have a little bend in your left knee. Find where you feel comfortable first. And then I want you to lift that right heel off the floor. So it's almost like you're in a little lunge position. Good. From here, if you're not already feeling it on this right side, you're going to go ahead and you slightly tuck your tailbone like a scared dog, and then you should really feel that right side. Good. So hopefully you're feeling that. You can bring your chair closer if you need to. Just make sure you're still standing up nice and tall. Doing great. Keep holding it here a few more seconds. Hopefully everyone feels that stretch where the leg is extended. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. Now from here, don't switch legs. All I want you to do is drop that right heel down toward the floor. Try to keep your right leg straight. Feel stretch in your calf now. If you need to go ahead and bring the feet closer together because your heel can't touch the floor, do that. But that heel, right heel, should be flat on the floor. You don't have to worry about tucking your pelvis this time. You can be in a neutral position. You're just feeling that stretch in your calf muscle. I'll hold it here a little bit longer. Hold it for 3, 2, 1, and let's gently release. And now we're going to switch sides. So now that right foot is forward, and we're going to jump your left foot back. Remember, we want to bend in that left knee, and your right heel is lifted off the floor. My left heel is lifted off the floor. And my left leg is not straight. I have that slight bend in my knee. And then from here, what I want you to do is we need to tuck your tailbone under. So think of a scared dog. And you should start feeling a stretch on that left hip flexor. And make sure we're still being mindful of your posture. Shoulders are back. Core is engaged. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's move into that calf stretch. So you're going to drop that left heel down. And remember, if it's kind of hard or doesn't feel comfortable to have the legs this far apart with the heel down, step them closer together. But that left heel is down on the floor. Now you're trying to straighten that left leg, and you're still keeping a bend in your right knee. Make sure that right knee's not going forward. Keep your knee and your ankle in one line together. And 10 more seconds here. And 3, 2, 1, and let's go ahead and release that side. Very good. All right, last standing exercise. We're going to do this for your hamstrings, so the back of your legs. So both hands will hold on to the back of your seat, and you're going to start stepping your feet away from your chair. You're going to make sure your feet are hip width apart, and then we're going to hinge at your hips. And you're not going to lock your knees out, but your legs are going to be straight. And then you want to feel a stretch in the back of those legs. So remember, we want a long spine. So imagine somebody's pulling your hips back and pulling your arms forward. All right, on your exhale, let's begin walking back toward our chair. Slowly coming up. Very nice. Go ahead and let's move back into our chair. We're going to do just a couple things for your toes. So you want to make sure that you have those socks and shoes off. If not, it's okay. You can still maybe do it without them. It'll be a little bit more difficult. So we're going to sit up nice and tall. And then all you're going to do is we're going to drum our we're going to drum our toes like we would our fingers. So you're going to start from your pinky and you're going to go toward your big toe. And you're going to drum your feet. Drum, drum, drum. Drum those toes. Good. So drumming those toes. You should feel the bottom of your feet are working. Your toes are working. Good. Let's do this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and now we're going to switch it. So now you're going to drum starting from your big toes going out to your little toes. So it always feels more awkward this way, but you want to do both directions. So starting from your big toes, drumming out to your little toes. Make sure we're still sitting up nice and tall. Go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. Last toe exercise. So I'm holding you longer than you should be. We're going to go ahead and you're going to spread your toes apart as far as you can. And then you're going to let them come back together. Good, so you're gonna spread those toes apart as far as you can, and then let them come back together. Good, let's do that a few more times. Spread them apart, let them come back together. Let's think about opening up those toes. Try to open your toes as wide as you can, you fingers. It's a lot harder. 10 more seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax those toes. Let's go ahead and sit up nice and tall. Take a big inhale, reach up to the sky. On your exhale, bring your hands to heart center in front of you. Thank you all for joining me today for our gentle range of motion posture-based class. If you have any questions, always feel free to reach out or